Gratalis basiliscus. Very, very, very toxic snake. Beautiful Indonesian king cobra. What is going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. You already know where we're at. Check it out. We are back in Hunter's reptile room, and take a look at this.
Hey, where'd the tent go?
No more tent.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Last time you guys saw this room, there was a massive grow tent that Hunter had modded out to be his Venomous room. And as you can see, it's gone. This whole room has been completely modded out and escape proof. And you can see there's now just a massive wall of PVC enclosures. So many new animals here for us to check out. We've got to do a little bit of cleaning and just a little bit of maintenance. Of course, Jack's Wild World, Hunter, all my exotics, and
What's up, y'all? I'm the cameraman.
we have a cameraman now, Mr. Ben here. So make sure you guys follow all of our socials. It'll be all in the description. And we're going to go ahead and jump right on into this episode. You guys enjoy. Jump right in.
We're going to start this episode off with taking out a beautiful snouted cobra, Naja annuifera. First things first, before you open any venomous snake cage, you need to identify where the snake's at. You want to check the hides, and he's not under that one. I can kind of see him right there, so he's under this hide.
Of course, we always want to be compliant with our local Department of Natural Resources. So now that we know where the snake's at, we can go ahead and we can safely open this enclosure. And just crack that like that. Use that hook. And then he's right here under this hide. So this is a male snouted cobra, and he's in shed, so he may be a little more ornery than usual. Usually when these guys are in shed, they can't really see well. As you can see with this animal's eyes, it's very milky, and that's basically that last layer of skin is starting to come off. It's got like a liquid layer in between his scales. So let's go ahead and let's see how he's acting. Slowly bring the animal out. And check that out, guys. Beautiful snouted cobra, male snouted cobra. Now, last time you guys saw this room, there was another snouted cobra named William. This is not William. Unfortunately, William is not in this collection anymore. He got traded for something very cool. Now, this species has a very potent neurotoxic venom. So neurotoxins are basically going to affect your nervous system, as the name implies. And if you guys get tagged by this snake, what the venom is going to do is it's going to block the nerve endings. So it's going to get in between the synapse of the nerve, and then slowly go into paralysis. Very, very, very toxic snake. We'll go ahead and put him right here into this nice holding container. And we're going to go ahead and clean his enclosure.
Alright guys, so now we're going to put the male snouted cobra back. You never want to use your hands to open enclosures or lids. So what we're going to do, get a nice little twist on there, get it loose. Oops, slipped out.
That's what she said.
Spin around. And there's our board. Come right out onto the hook. Male snouted cobra, Naja annuifera.
Such a gorgeous animal. One of my favorite cobra species on the planet. Let's see that compliance with the law. Secure.
Alright guys, up next we have my big boy, Chico. Don't tell other snakes, but he's probably one of my favorite snakes in the collection. He's a Mexican West Coast rattlesnake, Gratalis basiliscus, and we're going to take him out because he needs some new water. So yeah, I'm going to show you how to take out a big rattlesnake.
You can see, just like compared to the hand, it's a big gnarly animal. Luckily, Chico has an absolutely sweet personality. He's feeling all right today. Before we go ahead and take him out. Gnarly hemotoxins, gnarly cytotoxins, and something you really don't want to mess with. He's looking pretty good. God, he's a big snake. Take a look at that.
Look at that. Mexican West Coast rattlesnake, Crotalus basiliscus. The one, the only, big boy himself, Chico. So we're going to go ahead and put him in this tank, and then we're going to get to maintenance and his closure.
Look at that beauty. Closer look at this beautiful Mexican West Coast rattlesnake, Mr. Chico. As you can see, I mean, I'm almost 6 feet tall. This is a big, big rattlesnake. Huge, huge head. These guys have gnarly venom. This is a hemotoxic and cytotoxic snake. Absolutely just a gnarly bite. These guys are found all throughout Baja, California, out in the deserts. Huge, huge, huge animal, but absolutely gorgeous nonetheless. And this guy has an absolutely wonderful temperament and allows us to work with him pretty frequently. These guys have keeled scales. As you can see with these scales, it has that nice ridge, so he's got kind of a rough texture to him. And as you can see, that awesome telltale rattle, which of course makes these animals so super famous. These guys are heat-seeking pit vipers, so you can see those little pits right there at the front of the face. That allows him to hunt rats and mice in complete and utter darkness. So super cool. So we're gonna go ahead and put him right back into his enclosure. Look at that. Such an amazing species. Mexican West Coast rattlesnake, Crotalus basiliscus. He says he's got a nice clean house now. Gorgeous.
My precious.
Alrighty guys, so this next snake, this is Crotalus Scutulatus salvini, also known as the Huamantlán rattlesnake. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm doing my best. Very, very, very potent species of rattlesnake. So these are a subspecies of the Mojave rattlesnake. The Mojave rattlesnake is the most toxic rattlesnake on the planet. Of course, we're going to be very, very careful when it comes to dealing with this snake. See that the snake's in the hive? We'll go ahead and get this nice and open. And apparently this snake is pretty spicy, so we'll go ahead, pop that open. Now, as you can see, even for such a small snake, it's got a heck of a strike range. Look at that. That is just fantastic. Now these guys are gonna get pink when they get older. Look at that, rattle going 90 miles an hour, just an absolute dime a dozen. I'm gonna go ahead and set him right down there. Woo! What a beautiful snake. Alrighty guys, so now she's got a nice clean enclosure, nice fresh water. It's time to put her back in. We went ahead and we unscrewed this lid already. Whew. Very, very hot snake. She is fired up and ready to go. Look at her poised in that S position. She does not like to ride a hook, so now we got her nice up and around. Look at that, ready to go. So we'll go ahead and very carefully slide this back on, make sure that our fingers are nowhere near the bitey end.
All right, up next we have the female Crotalus basiliscus, Mexican West Coast rattlesnake. She will be Chico's girlfriend, not next year, but the following year. She's just a little too small. First things first, we're gonna identify where the snake's at. Not under that high, so she's gotta be under this high. Oops, must put a little bit too much WD-40 on there.
This girl is nowhere near as nice as Chico.
You have to be very careful when flipping the hide on a pit viper, because if her head is facing this way, she could be right on you, biting you, or past you, just like that. So we're gonna go ahead and open the bucket up, so I can just put it right in here. We'll go ahead and flip her hide up. There she is. Oh, look at that beautiful snake. Mexican West Coast rattlesnake.
right, it's time for this big, beautiful Mexican West Coast rattlesnake. Let's go right back home. Nice clean water, nice clean enclosure. Let's see how she does. Good girl. Hello. Look at that. Such an absolutely just a beautiful species. There we go. Look at that. They almost have like a green tint to them. She's got that cute little rattle. How adorable. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this closed. Get our nice lock secure. Got the lock at the door. Secure. Next up, Mr. Carl, Trans-Pecos copperhead. This is probably the most defensive snake in this room. He is an absolute jerk. I don't know if you guys remember from last time, but this is not a nice snake. But you know what? He needs water and he's got poop. So we gotta clean.
What's up, gamers? Hunter here with all my exotics. And Carl, fun fact, was my very first venomous snake.
Good snake to train with.
It's a terrible snake to train with. He'll kill you. We're going to hit it with the unlock ski. We'll go ahead and get the bucket ready. Because Carl is not fond of being handled. He actually prefers if you don't look at him, think about him, smell him, try to touch him or anything. He hates people. He hates me especially. He'll probably hate you too. And he is in a very awkward position right now. Try to get a little scoop action on him. Oh, there he goes. Carl is doing the Carl.
Very twitchy snake.
Hey, yo.
I do all this for Jimmy's mom.
Oh my goodness. There he goes. Oh. Whoop. You smell that musk? Oh, I wish you could smell it through the phone.
The reason why he's wiggling that tail, they actually do that to mimic a rattlesnake, and that just lets us know that he is not happy, wants to be left alone, so. Mr. Carl, time for you to go back to your nice clean home. Look at that.
God, he's already pissed off.
He's such a jerk. He really is just an absolute jerk of a snake.
So apparently his name used to be Phil.
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 Touch his tail. You guys can see, if you look at his tail right here, it's a little bit of a different color, so they'll actually use that for a thing called portal luring. And what that is basically he'll sit in an ambush in the wild in a bunch of leaves, wiggle that tail and attract something like a small rodent or a lizard. As soon as they come up towards that tail, whack, fill them up full of venom, swallow them down. Let's go ahead, make sure that nice, locked, and secure. So here's something that's also very important that's not really talked about all that much is sanitizing your tools in between snakes. We spray down everything with a pet safe solution called chlorhexidine and wipe down our tools in between each snake just as a precautionary measure to make sure that no diseases can be spread from animal to animal. So something that's very important for you guys to do. As we had noted, we did get rid of William the Snouted Cobra and replaced him with not only this female Snouted Cobra and this male Snouted Cobra that you guys saw earlier, but this is what William went to. Hunter has acquired a very, very nice Indonesian king cobra, the king or queen of all snakes, Miss Charlotte. Of course, Queen Cobra near the Queen City, perfect name. So of course we're gonna locate exactly where the snake is, make sure that she's nowhere else because she has a massive 8-foot enclosure. Even though she's nowhere near 18 feet, we wanna give her the best life possible. Go ahead.
Wait, are you guys really ready for this?
Are y'all really ready for this?
Yeah,
Let's get to
we'll let him see.
We'll let him see it.
Come on. We've teased him this much.
All right. Are you really sure about it? Are you really? Okay. All right.
Yeah. The King Cobra, Ophiophagus hanna, which recently got classified into, I want to say, what was it, 4 different species?
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Let's see how she's acting. Oh man, she's gotten huge since last time I've seen her.
A little tangled up in the bush.
Oh man, look at that. Absolutely beautiful Indonesian King Cobra. Now these guys are super, super alert, very fast. So you really have to understand what you're doing when you're working with these animals. A lot of snakes, they act just like snakes. King Cobras are completely different. They're extremely, extremely intelligent. They can be very unpredictable. Like I said, this animal's gonna eventually get upwards of up to 18 feet long and the world's largest venomous snake. Of course, as you can see,
She's
you gotta be
getting a little crazy.
very, very on your game when you're working with these guys. Look at that. Let's see if we can get her to hood up there. Oh, wow. That's fantastic. Beautiful Indonesian king cobra.
Feel
Miss
good.
Charlotte. Alright, so now we got our enclosure nice, clean, and misted down. It's time for her to go back, but we're gonna let you guys see her nice and up close. Look at her, she's already aware what's going on. Take a look at that hood. Now, of course, these guys are not true cobras. They're in the genus Ophiophagus, where true cobras are in the family Naja, but yet she can still produce a hood, as well as some snakes like black mambas can also produce a slight hood. So let's go ahead and let's get her out. Look at that. Get her hood up. Now, cobras and king cobras are very movement orientated. They focus almost entirely on movement. So let's see if I can get the tail. There we are. Let's see how she is. There we go. Take a look at that, guys. The beautiful Indonesian king cobra. These guys will actually spend quite a bit of time in the trees hunting for stuff like rat snakes, and they'll also eat small vipers. They'll pretty much eat almost any snake that they get their mouth on. Of course, these are a neurotoxic snake. Look at her. Crazy. Just an absolutely just gorgeous snake. And the Indonesian king cobra up close. Now these guys also have a modified trachea. I don't know if you heard her hiss there, but these guys have a modified trachea and are one of the few snakes that actually have the ability to growl. Such a unique snake. As you can see, they are very, very athletic. She can flip and turn pretty much on a dime. And they're very curious snakes, very conscious of what's going on around them. Like I said, these guys are very smart, probably the smartest snake on the planet. What an incredible snake. The king of all snakes, or should I say queen, Miss Charlotte, the king cobra. Let's go ahead and get her right back into her enclosure. It's incredible. It'll be really cool to see just how big she is by next year. Look at that. Just an incredible animal. Wow. Go ahead, get that nice and closed. Go ahead and we'll grab her lock. Make sure that this tank is nice and secure. King cobras.